What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a react to another video from Peter Coles. Now for those who don't know who Peter Coles is, there will be a playlist linked in the description and pinned comment. Recommend you go check it out, but I know most of you have got TikTok brains, so I'll give you the summary. Peter Coles is a polyglot. He actually does speak a fair few languages. However, he is super goddamn hyperbolic in his claims and claims to speak 25 languages fluently when that is in no way true. It is complete bullshit, and in fact, he can't even name the 25 languages. Now, today we're going to be reacting to this video of his because he pinned me in the comment section. He wants me to go check out this other polyglot, but I probably won't do that. Although I might offline, or I might do it, you know, fuck it, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I'm more interested to see what he's got to say in this video because he's talking about billionaires. And Peter Coles ain't a billionaire, so he's definitely not speaking from experience. And that's always a little bit of a red flag. Now, I know this is directed at me, okay? Because I got like 1 follower on Instagram, so he went out of his way to target my Instagram handle. In fact, do I have more followers now? Oh, god damn it! I lost my 1 follower. This is what it feels like to fall off. I had 1, now I have 0. Okay, let's go back to the video. Okay, let's see what Peter Coles is selling today. What bullshit. Let's see. Okay, I'll just hit play and get it over and done with.
An Emirati billionaire told me that he only does business with people who speak Arabic when I met him last month in Dubai. These rich sheikhs in Gulf states have enough money. They don't need to risk it on people they can't trust. Speaking Arabic creates deep trust in a community which is considered by most to be a closed society. Now I've finished learning Polish, I'm at B2. It's time for me to learn another language. And obviously I'm going to start learning Arabic now, because Arabic is the language that is going to make me a multi-millionaire in my 30s. If you want to connect with people, you need to speak their language if you want to be 1 step ahead of the competition.
Okay, well, it's not the worst of takes I've heard from Peter Coles. We'll get to some of those in a minute. Okay, where do we begin? Okay, Peter Coles, if you're watching this video, take it from someone who is in their 30s and is a multimillionaire, okay? I'll tell you how I did it, and it isn't through language, and it won't be through language. Now, the problem is, Peter, you're trying to sell this bullshit to a young, impressionable audience, and you have not yet achieved this. So, how do you know this is going to work? Let me tell you where you've gone wrong. If someone comes up to me, and they speak flawless Esperanto, I may be interested in them. I will chat with them because, well, I don't bump into that very often. But then if they say, hey, can you give me millions of dollars? I'd be like, what? Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, I would expect to see some type of proposal that would make that of interest to me, okay? Do you have a business plan? Is there a hole in the market that you've spotted and you have the unique capabilities to fulfill? Are you sure that there's no one else encroaching on that position? What is the return on investment? You know, how much do you need? What percentage of ownership in that business am I going to get? Or is this not even a business proposal? Are you looking to just randomly get into a business that I own because you speak Esperanto and therefore I'm going to give you millions of dollars? No, that's not how it works. You'll get paid probably just as much as everyone else. Maybe a tiny bit more because I like you a little bit more, but you ain't going to get any special benefit beyond anyone else except for maybe a tiny, tiny little bit just because we could be best buds and bump fists after work and, you know, smash a couple of no sugar, no caffeine Cokes because we're both on a diet. This is not how it works, Peter. You don't learn language, get money. Anyone who's proposing this clearly does not know how to get money, okay? Now let me explain to you how I did it, okay? Because there's realistically in this world only a very few ways to get the type of money you're talking about. 1, investment. 2, you get really, really specialized in a trade or a job or a skill that is in extremely high demand, and then you take the money you make from that and you put it into an investment, which goes into the first one, or you build a business and hope it doesn't fail, okay? And then if it's really successful, you take the money from that business and you put it in an investment, okay? That's pretty much how it works. So let's talk about how I did it. So when I was a young little hobbit and I grew up in the countryside, basically living in shipping containers, caravans, and then rental houses, I did not come from money, okay? What I ended up doing was joining the military. And then I was smart enough when I joined the military, I knew I was going to be there for a 6-year contract, and the military supplied everything that I needed. Medical, dental, food, lodgings. I had to pay a little bit for food and lodgings, but it was absolutely nothing. It was cheap as chips, realistically. So I saved every cent that I got, as opposed to everyone else who was my age, who basically spent everything that they got on hookers, alcohol, hookers, and just a myriad of gaming consoles, okay? That's basically what they did. Now, I saved the money, then I got out of the military, and I met a chick who was extremely intelligent, who I got along with great, and had a bunch of skills that complemented me. I'm very good at making money, but I'm actually not that good at managing it. Okay, I know how to save it, but I don't know how to grow it. I met a woman who is an accountant. Well, she's trained as an accountant. That's not what she does anymore, but she understands everything about that and how to turn that into further investments. So our two skills came together and we complemented one another. Okay, and then we started to grow, and I helped her get better in her business endeavors, and she helped me get better in mine. Okay, an example of this was she wanted to get promoted at work. She did not she did not know how to do presentations, keep the audience engaged. I taught her how to do all that stuff. She taught me everything that I needed to know about finances and doing that type of stuff. Okay, so we grew. We took that money and then we invested that in further properties. Okay, and then from there, over a lifetime, approaching 40. We are now up to several properties. We've got shares in multiple companies, some of them which have grown quite well over time, some that have absolutely failed. I've started businesses, many which have failed, and I've had a few that have been successful and I've sold out over the years. That's how you make millions of dollars. It does not come via me speaking a language, okay? If someone makes money via learning a language, that is more chance than anything else, okay? It's like becoming, oh God, this fur in my face. I don't know if I told you this, guys, already, but right now in Australia, it's cooking hot. Our cats are molting. They are shedding fur, and it's like, it's all over me and in me right now. So if I keep scratching at my face, it's not because I'm high on drugs or coke or anything like that. Oh, God, this is getting to me. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay? Now, it's like being a YouTuber. Very, very few YouTubers get successful. And by successful, I mean they make a living wage. Even few happen to just get to the very top and actually make millions of dollars. It's a tiny percentage. It's like actors, okay? People talk about how there's these rich Hollywood actors. Do you know how many actors actually make a living? 1% of all actors actually make a living doing that. 1%. Now, it's probably something like, I don't even know what the numbers are, but you're looking at like 0.01% who actually make, millions. It's probably even smaller than that. So you can't rely on this. You have not presented any type of realistic business proposal here, okay? Nothing. This is not how you make money, and you haven't made money doing this, so why are you spreading this fucking bullshit, okay? Now, let's talk about the second thing you love to rant about on this channel. And that is about getting big booty Latinas and fucking Asian chicks and shit by learning languages, okay? And you've got like one clip that you reuse in every single video of some chick massaging your shoulders. I am so tempted to replicate that by just getting my mate to massage my shoulders while he's butt naked. I'm so down to do that. I'm not sure if he's down for it. I'll let him know. In fact, when he watches this video, Daylo, MKV. Okay, so this is another one of your shit hot takes that you keep just putting out there, and I know why you do it. You're trying to get these young guys and possibly young girls to think you're some type of superstar to follow you and be successful like you. But bro, you know this is bullshit, okay? This is not how... If your goal is to pick up a chick, okay, for any lonely guy out there, you want to know how to pick up a chick, okay? It's not that hard. First up, be a little bit interesting. Have a hobby. Something that you find fascinating to the point you can talk about ad nauseum, okay? Now, whatever that hobby is, take that and join a group related to that. There's groups everywhere for this type of shit. There's groups for languages. You could use a language, but you don't need to get fluent at it and go to another goddamn country and try to pick up a chick just because she doesn't speak your language and she finds you exotic or something. That's not how it works. And even if it did work like that and you do manage to do that, you're going to spend an entire lifetime with this chick. I'm assuming that's your goal, okay? Unless your goal is just to sleep around, in which case I've got other issues with that. But if your goal is to build a relationship, which I think a lot of young men actually want, they don't want to just play around. Most young men don't want that. They actually want to find a proper relationship, build something that for them is wholesome, makes them feel like they have a place in the world, something to work towards. In that case, you don't want to do that. Unless you can guarantee that you're going to get so goddamn good at that language that when you meet that chick, you can have deep relationships. I've seen so many relationships that have failed miserably doing this, okay? There was this girl that I knew, a Chinese girl, who spoke pretty good English, and she met a Czech guy, okay? And he spoke pretty good English, but neither of them were native English speakers. They could never really get deep down into conversations. And I remember after a few years, their relationship broke down. And they told me the reason was that they could not communicate on a deeper level. Once the looks wear off, once all that fun ends, that's all that's left. Is the shared memories and those deep conversations that you can have with someone who you know is not going to cancel you. You know what I'm saying? So that's... Can we please stop selling this bullshit, mate? You know this is bullshit. Now, if your idea is, I'm just going to fuck around, have fun until I'm 30, 40, 50, okay, that shit's going to end eventually. Those girls, they're going to want to settle down. You're going to want to settle down. I assume as much. You don't want to be getting into your 40s and 50s as a single person. Society is not built for that. You don't believe me, okay? Most people struggle when they're alone. Most people as a pair, working together hard, they still struggle. Society is built for two people to work together. Now, you can like go on about how fucking that's a shit outcome of capitalism and all that type of stuff, okay? I work within the system that exists, okay? I'm not going to live in some utopia about what ifs and stuff. The current society in which we exist as people requires two people to work together in order for them to be successful, okay? So it is designed for that. So yeah, have some fun prior to 30 and stuff, but both men and women need to get serious by the time they hit their 30s. You don't want to be waiting until you're like 39 and thinking about these things, because by that stage you'll be like, oh, should I have kids and all this type of stuff, and it's like, you get rushed and all this type of shit. Like so many, both men and women I've seen in their late 30s and 40s are in like chronic stress over the fact that they have not found a partner. And yet they were fucking around in their 30s and 20s and stuff like that. Have some fun when you're younger. Figure out who you are, what you want, and then actually look for someone who can complement you as a person. Now, I know some people, you know, they prefer to be alone, but just remember, if you're alone now, you're always going to be alone. At the end of the day, you know, when our time comes to check out in this world, do you really want to be checking out alone? I don't know about me, okay? So, yeah. I don't know, that's my thoughts on this matter. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in the next video. And, yeah. Peace out.